This video will continue doing algebra from geometry. As always, the algebra of the problem comes from the geometry of the problem. So, as we can see here, a kite is a four-sided figure with two pairs of disjoint congruent sides. AB is congruent to AD, BC is congruent to DC. As you can see here, AB, AD, BC, DC. Now we solve for x and y. Now you will remember from algebra that since there are two unknowns, we will need two equations. Not too hard. It will come from the geometry of the problem. We'll set them up, then it's just straight algebra. The first thing you should do in these cases is put the expressions on the figure. So AB is 2x plus 3y, AD is 5x minus 2y, BC is 4x plus 4y, and DC is x plus y plus 8. Let's set up our equations. AB is congruent to AD, so 2x plus 3y equals 5x minus 2y. Now we're going to get everything set up in standard linear equation form. We're going to move over the 5x, so we get negative 3x. We're going to move over the negative 2y, so we get plus 5y, and that equals 0. Next, BC is congruent to DC, so 4x plus 4y equals x plus y plus 8. Now again, let's get that in standard form. Move over the x, we've got 3x. Move over the y, we've got 3y equals 8. So now let's take this equation and this equation over here. Negative 3x plus 5y equals 0. 3x plus 3y equals 8. Now the easiest thing to do with equations in this form is generally elimination. So we're going to do that. Negative 3x plus 3x is 0. 5y plus 3y is 8y. And that equals 8. Therefore y equals 1. Now we can take y equals 1 and plug it back into either equation. I'm going to take the second one. No reason for that, just why not? Y equals 1, so 3x plus 3 times 1 equals 8. Now 3x equals 5. X equals 5 over 3. Now, let's say you're nervous because you're not sure if you did this right. It's a little bit new, you don't know. Easy way to check it, let's plug y equals 1 into the first equation. So negative 3x plus 5 times 1 equals 0. Move the negative 3x over, and we get 5 equals 3x. Divide each side by 3, we get x equals 5 thirds. So that's an easy way to check. Just plug whatever you get here into both. If you get the same thing, you most likely did it right. Last note on this problem before we move on, you don't always have to get integers. So y equals 1 was an integer. X equals 5 thirds is not an integer. That doesn't mean you did it wrong. That just means sometimes it's not an integer. I've seen students not get an integer value, assume they did it wrong, and then spend another hour trying to figure out what they did wrong when they did it correctly. So it does not always have to be an integer. And that is how you get systems of equations from a geometry problem, and you just solve them the way you learned in algebra.